What is up everybody, it's your boy KIFS Crypto back in the house for yet another video. Now today we're gonna focus on the Celsius Meltdown, which happened very recently. They actually paused all withdrawals off their platform, and these 1.7 million people that call Celsius their home for crypto are now in great danger. Not even gonna speak about the amount of money that's being held there, but as you guys can see, a lot of these platforms are starting to fail. DeFi is starting to fail, which is a good thing. Now I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing, but before I do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the video or if you have a question for me. Now, why is this a good thing? Well, when everything starts failing, innovation comes. So people are going to think of better ways to use DeFi, better ways to insure DeFi projects, and better ways to generally make it a safer space for everybody with regulation, which is by no means a bad thing at all, and with a lot of these other things that I will discuss in today's video. So Celsius, as you can see on the top corner, on top of the screen, withdrawals, swaps, and transfers between accounts are currently paused, and you can read more info if you want to. And you know, there's a huge amount of money in insurance, a lot of money in paid to the community in the past, but at this point Celsius is just dead, right? It's as good as dead, and they were going to be bailed out by FTX, but FTX actually passed on the deal to purchase Celsius due to the deficiency in the balance sheet of Celsius. So what happened was FTX, chief executive officer, they wanted to actually acquire Celsius, where the price was already down. You know, they wanted to do a hostile takeover, acquire Celsius, and make a deal with the company themselves. But a few things that they did find out was, first of all, Celsius had a $2 billion hole in their balance sheet. Now that is cause for concern. If you're a person who has money in the Celsius staking program or insurance or any program you do, well, there is a chance you're never going to see it again, so you need to be careful next time. I don't know how anybody could have avoided this, because Celsius really is one of the largest networks out there, but I do personally believe that they're large enough to find a way to actually recover from this, because you guys know who the CEO of Celsius is. It's Alex Mashinsky, and this guy has like a $3 billion net worth. So if he doesn't think of something to help this come back, well, I don't know who will. But yeah, also there's been some allegations that he tried to flee the US, and obviously it's false. That's what Celsius is saying. Now you don't know until it actually happens. Nobody knows what's happening there for sure, but the one thing that we can focus on is the actual facts. So 2 billion hole in the balance sheet, FTX said no, and also they said that Celsius was hard to deal with, which makes sense because any project in a bear market should be hard to deal with, because they're all scrambling. It's not an easy task to do anything at that point. You got thousands of emails coming in from everybody around the globe asking for their money back, and obviously they are not solvent enough to pay people out. Now, what is solvency and why did they pause withdrawals? Well, solvency is a little bit different than liquidity, and it's something that's important for banks in the current banking system. For example, a bank needs to be solvent enough to pay out everybody who asks for a deposit on a one person at a time basis, no matter how much anybody asks for. So if the first guy asks for $10 million out, he's going to get 10 million. If the second guy asks for 5 million, he's going to get his 5 million. But if the third guy comes and asks for 3 million and the bank only has 1.5 to give him, that raises concerns about the bank's solvency, which will cause panic and indeed a bank run at some point. Now, Celsius is stopping this bank run situation, which basically happened with Luna or Terra back in the day, a month ago or so. Well, they're stopping it by pausing withdrawals at this point and making it so that the market sort of stabilizes a little bit before they continue doing their business. Now, I'm not saying that Celsius will fail or that it's gonna not come back ever in the world, but all I want to tell you guys, if you have your money personally invested into Celsius, is keep your cool, right? Don't do anything stupid. Withdrawals will be probably returned at some point in the future. Who knows? Maybe somebody else other than FTX comes and tries to purchase it, right? Or maybe the CEO of FTX is waiting for Celsius to crash a little bit harder before buying it at a lower price, which would indeed be a hostile takeover situation. Now, a few other things that you need to know is 1.7 million users are unable to redeem their assets. You know, the home of crypto and all that stuff. It's terrible. And the one thing that Celsius actually said was, across Celsius today, we are focused and working as quickly as we can to stabilize liquidity and operations in order to be positioned to share more information with the community. So that's a very diplomatic answer and everything you need to know at this point. But one thing that this does lead me to is why this might be a good time to think about crypto insurance. Now, next to a lot of different things that are happening right now, insurance is always a good market, but especially in the crypto world. So we can imagine that there is going to be a lot more crypto insurance in the future. There's going to be a lot more regulation in the future, and there is going to be a lot more innovation, as I said, in the DeFi sector of, you know, stabilizing all of these returns and making them a little bit more safe and, for example, pegged to real life things such as real estate to make it as secure as possible. Now, obviously, with larger returns comes less security. More risk equals more reward, which makes sense. So people that risk making money with Celsius are currently not doing that well. Now, before we continue, this is the honorable mention of the day. The Impossible Things team has been doing a lot of work. The new and revamped website is out there, and it focuses on giving you a pass that you can use for every single NFT drop coming out ever in the future on their platform. Now, this is one of the rare projects built on the ICP protocol, or Internet Computer, and it is an amazing blockchain first and foremost, but second of all, there will be a lot of NFTs coming out on there as well, and these guys are the first to do it. Now, the whole idea behind the Impossible Pass is, if you're the sort of person who hates waiting in line and loves getting first dibs on the hottest drops and collectibles, well, the Impossible Pass, this is how it looks, by the way, looks beautiful. It guarantees you early access to all upcoming drops and collections, plus IRL events and much more. It's being offered right now in limited quantities, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to join the hype train of Impossible Things, you can do it right now. Log in, connect your wallet, and purchase it right now for only 54 ICP. The sale ends in 4 days and 10 minutes, so if you want to snag it, you should better be fast. Now, I also gave them a follow on their Twitter page. I do recommend you check them out in the description down below if you want to do this for yourself, and you can learn a little bit more about the roadmap coming out in the future if my internet decides to make a move or not. But in any case, there's going to be a lot of drops coming out in the future, a lot of platform updates, a lot of IRL utilities such as real world events in NYC, Comic-Con, Art Basel, and members only merch store if you have a collectible Impossible Thing pass for yourself. Now, the website itself, it's beautiful. This is how the Impossible Pass actually looks, and it will allow you to do a lot of different things. It's already out, and if you press this link, you will be headed right here to get your Impossible Pass yourself. Now, lastly, you can check out the drop roadmap for the future of this project. Everything will be unleashed very, very soon. And if you want to learn more info, you can join them on the Discord. The chat is absolutely active and jamming all day, every day. It's a vibrant community, it's an amazing community, and a community with a lot of utility. So, without further ado, let's move on to the rest of the video. Insurance is a very interesting field that I will be covering in the future as well, because most people are just buying crypto to speculate, but those of them that enter platforms on a basis of, okay, I can see an APY of 100%, I want to make 100% in a year. Well, if they get messed up, you know, if they lose their money, then there will be insurances in place in the future that will, you know, kind of at least pay them back a portion of their losses. And this is all very, 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 how should I even say it, ironic, because, you know, Celsius literally is a place where crypto is insured. So how did this all happen? Well, don't ask me. It's just a crazy world we live in right now. Bear market's still coming up. Celsius did kind of dip in price, but it's kind of holding its cool at the same time. I mean, we had a huge dip on the announcement of the news that they're going to stop withdrawals, but at that point we created a large support, and we're creating something that does look like a potential head and shoulders pattern, something like that. But I do expect the price to keep moving down for the time being, as the market itself is moving down as well. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin itself, we can see a pattern forming right now. Now, you could say that it is a reversal pattern where you have one of these, and then it's like a double bottom, and then you make one of these, makes like a head and shoulders and move up. So we could do that. However, I'm here to look at the market and react to what it does rather than predict it. And currently it seems more like a correction pattern more than anything else, with a next impulse that is probably bound to move even lower, somewhere into the 10k mark at some point. But the next zone of support will be around the 13k level, so that's something that we should look out for. Now that's it for today's video. As I always say, DCA guys, that's the best thing that you can do, and thank you all for joining in for another one. I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own due diligence before investing in anything in the crypto world, and I really hope to see you all in the next one.